Back in the 90s, console video games were still struggling to figure out how the internet works, but on the PC it was the start of a new era, with games like Doom revolutionizing online gaming forever, followed by the big MMO boom with games like Lineage, EverQuest, and then this. But on the console side, things were way behind. Sure, there have been many attempts to do it, but most of them were inaccessible. Playing an online game on the Sega Dreamcast, for example, was a goddamn nightmare. Until Microsoft said, hey, let's put up one of those things that we make software for and see how people do it there. And they did. And that was the birth of Xbox Live. But some fucking moron piece of shit came up with the idea to tax people a monthly fee in order to play games online. And somehow that worked. And then Sony did the same thing. And then 16 years later, Nintendo did the same thing. Thank you, Microsoft. Now the reason Xbox Live worked is because, well, it actually worked, and for the time the features were revolutionary, and the addition of dedicated servers for some online games made the whole thing work flawlessly. In less than 3 minutes you could be in a Halo match shooting people, and while it wasn't 60 FPS, 8K, 10 megaton teraflops hyperspeed loop, the whole thing worked. The characters moved in real time, lag was a very isolated case, and keep in mind this whole thing was 16 years ago, and since then we've seen services offer online play with dedicated servers in supported games for free. Meanwhile, on Nintendo Network, there are no dedicated servers in any game. All first-party Nintendo games use peer-to-peer connection, and the matchmaking is random. So, there's a high chance that even if you do have an online subscription and stand on top of your router, the game will match you with someone from fucking Easter Island, and that doesn't work. It just doesn't.
Dude, they can hear me, and I can hear them.
That's the coolest thing about Xbox Live, the voice.
Another thing that came with the Xbox Live was voice chat, something that no other gaming device had at that time. Now, I don't know what kind of mentally damaged monkey would think people want to use a phone app instead of just plugging in headphones, but since the Nintendo Switch launched, this has probably been one of the biggest complaints people had about the system, and everyone was hoping this will be addressed with the launch of the paid service. So, what did Nintendo have to say about this?
Nintendo Switch Online also connects with the smartphone app.
Nope. Fuck you, we're doing this. I don't even remember when Steam first introduced cloud saves. They've been there for a long time, and they've been free in any games that you already own. So if you own the game, any saves that you have are automatically backed up in the cloud. Nintendo, however, refused to support cloud saves for some of their games because people might hack them. What? On top of that, there are still no achievements, no internet browser, no Netflix, no YouTube, and worst of all, you still have to use the friend codes if you want to add someone, which is just... Why? This is 2018, why? Which takes me to my final point. The only real value of the Nintendo Switch Online is the Netflix-style NES games with added online multiplayer. But right now, there's only 20 of them, out of which only 4 of them are actually good. Now, they're saying they will keep adding more, which means the next game could be either Metroid or fucking Bible Adventures. So, is $20 a year worth it for a bunch of NES games? Well, it depends. If you've never had the chance to try some of them, the value of the annual subscription is probably the equivalent of 4 NES games if they decided to sell them individually. But here are the problems. Not everyone is interested in retro games. Some people might just want to play current games online. Some people would rather have the ability to buy the NES games they want. And also, what happens to the people who bought the NES Classic?
The Nintendo Entertainment System. Now you're playing with power.
But screw that, we know what the fans really want. What have you people done?